Hello, welcome back. We are going to take a look at another one of your suggested videos. A few years ago, when I started this channel back in 2020, one of the first videos I did on the AFL was a video called "What is the AFL?" It was essentially learning about the game. I had seen the sport before. I'd watched some of it before, like middle of the night here in America. It was just like on ESPN or something. So I knew of the sport, didn't really understand the inner workings, but you can piece together a basic amount to kind of understand what's going on. So I was excited to watch that video several years ago, or 4 years ago, to kind of get an idea on how the game worked, and I learned a lot. I recently kind of went back and watched a little bit of that video, and it's really cringy. I don't suggest going to watch it, but I wanted to kind of do an updated version of that. You know, there was recently a new video put out called The Beginner's Guide to Australian Football, which is what we're going to watch today. And so we're going to take a look at that, and I want to see, you know, how much do I know? Have I learned it all, or have I forgotten some things? Just to kind of see from the past to the present where we're at with the game. And it's a new video to take a look at. So this was recommended by you guys, and I'm excited to take a peek. It's a pretty short video. I think it's less than 5 minutes. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. If you end up liking the video, hit that like button. Consider subscribing and turning on the notifications so you can see when we go when we post more videos. And if you want to see us live react to these viewer videos, consider following us on Twitch. Kick. We're going to do this on Kick right now. I was debating on Twitch or Kick. We're going with Kick. Right, so links in the description down below. Go over there. You can see when we do these live. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. We have a beginner's guide to Australian football. AFL explained. Let's go.
It's unlike any other game in the world.
That's for sure. They got that right.
Otherwise known as Aussie Rules, AFL or footy, Australian football is chock-a-block full of non-stop action, athleticism, hard hits, and heart-stopping moments.
Saved from the boundary, needs to be inch perfect.
This is Australia's game.
Australia's game.
Not even kidding. The Professional Men's League, the AFL, is the most attended domestic sports league in the world per capita.
That's kind of interesting to me. It's the most attended domestic sports league in the world per capita, which it's a lot of parameters to check, but it makes sense because you guys, like, these stadiums a whole like 100,000 people almost, right? And Australia is not that big of a place, population-wise, compared to places like, you know, places like all of Europe or even America, and, you know, certainly like India or China, places like that. And you guys show out. You guys show up for your sports games, so it's pretty awesome. I'm gonna hold the sharing while we do this because I blew it up. We're getting back in the swing of footy, and I'm excited, so I had to bust the sharing out. All right, let's go.
Made up of 18 teams across the country.
The AFLW is the women's competition, formed in 2017 and growing rapidly ever since.
I don't know if I've ever watched a full AFLW game.
Day, two
At least
teams
not yet.
play each other on a field shaped like an oval. A starting lineup consists of defenders, midfielders, and forwards.
You gotta be fit to play this sport. Players can move anywhere on the ground and perform any role during the game. Games are split into 4 quarters, with time added for stoppages in play. And the game starts with players from both teams fighting for possession of the ball.
We are away, and Grundy out the back was able to get it to Pendlebury.
The aim is to move the ball down the field and score. This is done in one of 3 ways. You can't throw the ball.
All right, you got
but
your
can
handball.
use your fist to punch the ball.
Which you're
out of
basically
your
like
hands. That's a handball.
Punting it like, hold on, where we go? Punting it like that, right?
You can run with the ball, but
You gotta
don't
bounce it.
forget to bounce it every 15 meters.
Penny, oh, he's in a good spot. Penny with a bounce.
I love the little sound effects they do.
Penny with a second bounce.
So if you think about it, it's kind of like soccer and basketball in one, right? You got to run, right? But then you also bouncing it, and then it's kind of like American football or rugby, whatever, because you got the shape of the ball, and they just like smashed them all together, and it's brilliant.
And finally, you can kick the ball. No. Yeah,
That's a good
better.
kick.
Trelaw kicks it beautifully. Look at that ball.
Players try to catch the ball after it's been kicked at least 15 meters.
Oh, that mark.
This is called a mark. Fun
And that looks like a
you can use
specky.
your opponent as a stepladder and take what's called a specky.
Okay.
Wait, that's legal?
I love it. They're covering it. Let's go. Look at those fly, Eagles fly, baby. Even the ladies
After
getting
a
up there.
mark, you can choose to play on, or you can stop and take an unobstructed kick.
To score,
All right, Port. Let's
the
go, Port.
idea is to kick the ball between the two large upright posts.
There's the target. And that's right on.
That's a goal.
Magnificent.
That's
6 points, baby.
By the way, you can also kick goals like this,
Little dribbler.
or even this.
Like, that's insane. That angle is insane.
Can he kick a fourth? Oh, he has.
Hit the post, or put it between the big
Oh.
posts and the outer
Right
lower
off the-
post. How did he miss that?
Right off the post. That's a behind?
It's worth 1 point. We call that a behind.
All right. We remembering
After a goal
things.
is scored, the ball goes back to the center square, and the action starts again.
Surely not another one. Handball to Oliver. Streaming through. Bang. Bang, bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang.
How do you get the ball back from your opponents? You can spoil,
Oh, yeah,
bump,
punch.
smother, and tackle. Is it true they don't wear pads?
So you get hit really hard.
Bang.
Once tackled, your opponent must correctly dispose of the ball. Yeah, nah, not like that. If they
He
don't,
just drops
and
it.
have had prior
What's that guy's name? Is that
opportunity
Dusty?
to do
What's his
so,
name? Dustin? Dusty?
On the footy.
What the heck's his name?
This is called holding the ball, and you get a free kick. When the final siren sounds, the team with the most points wins. Come on!
Makes sense. Makes sense.
A final scoreline can look confusing, but it's actually pretty simple. Start with the goals, these are worth 6, remember? Add your behinds, and that's your total score.
Before we go,
Fair
let's
enough.
take a quick look at how the professional seasons work.
In the women's competition, the top teams play off in a knockout final series, culminating in a grand final played at the highest ranking team's home ground.
Just to kind of comment back before on how they do the scoring, I do think it's interesting how they break it up. Like, they make you do the math. Like, it's like, all right, we have 10 goals, so that's 6 each, 6 points each, so that's 60, and then there's like 6 behind, so that's 1 point each. If you compare that to like American football and the NFL, they just add it up. I mean, at the end, there'll be like stats on how many touchdowns and field goals and things like that, or extra points, or missed, or safeties, things like that. But they're not like breaking it all down in the game. They just show the score, right? If somebody scores a touchdown and a field goal and then gets a safety, 12 points is what they're just going to put on the board. They're not going to like really break it down. You can look at that later. But, they go, when you watch the games, these Aussie rules, or the AFL, you'll see it actually up by the score. It'll show how many goals and then how many behinds they have, which makes more sense because I guess there's only really 2 ways to score in this game, whereas American football, there's, 1, 2, 3, 4 ways to score. I mean, if you count the extra kick as technically a way to score, I think there's 4. Yeah, so.
In the men's league, teams fight it out for 22 home and away games. And after that, the top 8 teams make the finals. One by one, teams get knocked out until 2 remain. Ready to face
The Demons logo there just
grand
reminds me of like a
final.
Marlboro
It's the
logo.
decider for the biggest prize in footy, the Premiership Cup. Played at the MCG in front of, hold up, this can't be right, 100,000 fans.
I would love to go to the MCG. If I go to Australia, I gotta check out Melbourne, or at
Your
least go to
quick guide
an
to Aussie
AFL
rules
game.
Football. So this is us. What do you reckon? Because personally, we think it's the best live game going round.
All right, so awesome video. I think I might have to go back and rewatch the old video that I watched just to kind of see how it compares. But I like how they kind of put that together. It's pretty straightforward. It's a great overview of everything. It's obviously not covering every little detail, but yeah, I thought that was really well done. They did mention it's Australia's seemed like #1 sport or whatever. What do you NRL guys think of that? I know there's a large part of Australia that's very pro rugby or what do you guys call it? Shoot, I'm gonna get so much flack for saying rugby. Hold on, we're gonna look this up. We're gonna look this up so I don't get yelled at. League. Don't you guys just call it league? That's what it is. Before I even need to look it up, you just call it league. I'm gonna get roasted for this, but whatever. Is that the biggest sport, or is it the Australian rules? Is it the AFL? I think it's probably the AFL. I'm pretty sure isn't the NRL more popular on the East Coast and up north, up into New Zealand, but you guys are going to let me know. I know it. But thank you so much for taking a look at this video with me. If you liked it, like the video and consider subscribing Turn on the bell. You can stay tuned when I go live or when I do more videos. I keep making that mistake. We're not going to go on live on YouTube much anymore. And then consider following on Kick. Link is in the description. Either way, talk to you later. Peace, love. Cheers. Bye.